Yo, what's Gucci? What's Fendi? What's poppin'? Brand new whip, nah, fam. I just hopped in. Welcome to the Psychology Podcast, hosted by your boy Psycho. This is the Monday. What is it? Mental Health Mondays. Yeah, exactly. And in this episode, I am joined by a mental health advocate. She goes by the name Anis. So she's also a joyous person. You can hear, she's you which is good, because you wanna hear good light. But anyway,
Yes.
let me not say too much. Please, Anis, just introduce yourself, who you are, what you do. If you wanna say your age, you can say it. All of that. Talk to me.
Okay. Um, Firstly, it's good to be here. I'm very much
Yes.
excited.
Mm.
And so I'm Anisu. Yes, I'm Anisu. I don't know if I should say my age. That's too much content for you guys.
Tell us.
But
Uh,
no, I want you guys to be sliding in the DMs.
let niggas slide. We want to
But yeah,
slide. Mm,
I'm a student. Yeah, I'm studying in Poland. I'm studying international logistics. I'm in my
mm.
first year, second semester.
Okay.
Yes, and what else is there? Yeah, I definitely am all for mental health. That is definitely why I'm here as well.
Mm,
Um, yeah, I think it's not spoken about so much. I I started talking about mental health or created a space for mental health because I was also going through personal things. So yes,
ooh.
I do talk about mental health conversations, and I write codes, like I create codes, but
Ooh.
currently I haven't been like doing that as much. I've been mainly focusing on mental health.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
yeah, I enjoy
Okay.
listening to music and all that. That's
He
honestly.
enjoys music. Oh, okay. That's a nice
Yes.
one. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I didn't know about the coat. Yeah, that's an interesting one. We'll talk about that a little bit later into the episode. But um, I'm a just start here. So, what is mental health to you? Like your own definition when you think mental health. What is that?
Um, okay, it's very broad. I feel like it's actually very difficult to answer that question,
Mm,
but
mm,
I'm going to try as much as possible to say how I see mental health or my definition of mental health, which
mm-hmm,
is basically life. Life is mental health, guys. Like everything we go through, I
mm, mm.
believe has a role um, or impacts us in some way, our mental health, like how you're feeling, what you're going through, why you act the way you act. It's all it's all linked, you know. So I'm definitely like I feel like each day my definition of mental health changes because
Ooh, how
I
how
see
how does it
something
change?
or it changes because I understand it better. You know, when you start understanding something better, you're like, oh, okay. So at first, I think because I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna be very honest. When people used to speak about mental health and
Mm,
or like come out and talk about what they're going through, I never really understood it. Like I was not interested. I was just
mm.
one of those who just used to
Like,
listen and
who are
watch
these
and be like,
crazy
okay,
people?
okay. Yes. Like, are they even serious or they just want attention type of thing? That was
Oh,
me.
mm.
Until, yeah, until I was like, no, I started going through things that I didn't understand and I wanted to understand myself better. And I spoke to people and everything just sort of like started making sense to me. And I was like, so if I'm going through this, how many more people are going through things and they feel like they don't have that space to talk. I mean, especially as young adults, honestly, guys, life is just, like I said, life is mental health. So
Especially as an
we
adult,
need
huh?
to talk about these things, especially as an adult. And then
mm.
from me.
uh,
So, so yeah, I think for me, the shortest definition of mental health is life, the things we go through each day.
mm,
That's why we act. That's why people act the way they act, react, um, feel all these things, all these emotions, be it
mm,
mentally, physically, emotionally. Yeah.
mm. Okay, so you talked about how when you first went through life, i.e., mental health.
Yeah.
Um, take me back to that. Like, what was that moment when you realized, yo, like, I'm going through a lot? Like, you don't have to share the details, but what were you feeling
Yeah.
in that moment? Like, explain.
Okay. So in that moment, uh, I felt like giving up. I felt like I
Mm,
couldn't do it.
mm,
I felt alone, and
okay.
I felt like I couldn't talk to anyone. I didn't have, like, you know, like I really felt alone. I like so much alone. Like I was like, okay, I've all these people I talk to, but with the way I'm feeling, I don't even feel like I have a safe space to
Ooh,
talk to anyone.
ish,
Yeah,
ish.
and I just felt like giving up. It felt so much. I felt overwhelmed and sad, and it was just, yeah, it was a lot.
Damn.
It
And
was really a lot, and I feel like so many of the times
uh-huh, uh-huh.
it's not like, I don't think it's a feeling that I wasn't familiar with, but okay, that obviously in that moment that felt too much. But I started realizing maybe I've been dismissing all this, sometimes you
Mm,
don't want to accept that you're actually going through something or you
ooh,
need help or
true,
anything like
true.
that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Okay.
that was
So
that moment.
okay, so you're going through this mental health crisis. You're what? How did
Yes.
you figure out how to get help? What was your first reference? Was it like a sister? Was it a friend? What did you do to say, okay, how can I get out of this sort of situation?
Okay, so firstly, I was like, okay, I shouldn't be ashamed of, like, I don't know why, but for some reason, I'm saying the old me, I just used to associate mental health with like it was a part that I thought like, okay, this is embarrassing, like something to talk about. Why would I want people to know that I'm going through issues? So for
Mm-mm.
me, the first step was definitely like, okay, at least now I've accepted it and I want to get help type of thing. So I was actually on Instagram and like I saw a platform that gives like free therapy consultation.
Oh,
I
okay.
forgot. I think if I'm not mistaken, it should be the Friendship Bench,
Oh
something like
yeah,
that. I've
I've heard of
forgotten.
them. Yes, the friendship bench. Yes. Uh-huh.
Yes,
Mm-hmm,
yes,
mm-hmm,
yeah.
mm-hmm.
So I saw them and I'm like, okay, wow, this could be a good start.
Oh,
This
okay.
really could be a good start for me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Uh, and yeah, I'm not really going to get too much into detail about
Yeah,
that,
no, no, no,
but
of
that
course.
was something. That was
Mm-hmm.
definitely something. And then also on the other hand, I did speak to my mom about it. Like, okay, so
Okay.
I think I'm dealing with things and I don't know who to talk to and all those things.
Oh, and
And
she responded well.
um,
She responded well to that.
yes, she did. Fortunately enough, she did.
Fortunately.
And
Okay, that's a good
yes,
thing.
and because I know not everyone has that space, but fortunately she genuinely did understand me. And like at my mom's workplace, they do have like a consultation therapy person for their
Oh,
employees' kids.
oh, that's
So they have
beautiful.
like a number that they can, yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So my mom also just gave me a contact and she's like, if you want someone to talk to, if you really feel like you need to talk to someone, because even I didn't feel like I could talk to my mom as much as she approached the whole situation well.
Yeah, I
I felt
understand.
like what I was
Mm.
going through
Mm.
needed someone like, yeah, who's like very
A neutral,
professional and
a
all that.
neutral party as
So
well.
exactly, definitely,
Mm. Hey,
definitely
that
neutral
exactly was
party
like,
because
yeah. Okay.
no, because no, sometimes like sometimes okay, I don't want to say the problem, but your parents also have a role to do with maybe some of the things you're going through. So
Oh.
you don't want to, like you're saying, you want a neutral party. You okay?
Because there'll be a
Like
bias
someone who,
naturally. Mm.
yes, definitely. So, so that's how I got about the whole situation.
Wow, especially this parents thing as you talk about. I've heard so many people, especially in the African culture. You see, as parents, it's hard.
Yes,
It's
yes,
as parents, it's hard to, and I get it. I bet if we were parents, it's hard to be a friend and a
yes.
disciplinarian, whatever the
Uh,
word is,
yeah.
at the same time. You have to kind of be one, you know, and
Yes,
now maybe they are used to a certain lifestyle they grew up under, so maybe they'll be like, no, Asha, mwana haiti zvakadaro unofanira kungo, shingirira. For those
yeah.
listening that are not Zimbabwean, in other words, they'll be saying you have to be strong. Yeah.
Yes,
um and I get you, like, obviously your mom, and I'm glad she was open to it, and she even suggested that's a good step to, like, you know what, I can get you professional help, and you move from that, so which is a good
yes,
thing. So when you got
yeah.
this help, you started feeling better as time went on.
I don't think I got better,
Oh.
to be honest.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
so I did ask for help and I did get the help, but I didn't make use of that help.
Oh,
So
okay. Tell me more about that.
firstly, I feel like I wasn't um I wasn't ready to actually talk, you know.
Oh.
There was
Whoa,
something
okay.
holding me back. There
Mm.
was definitely something holding me back and I would try. I think I had um like 2 sessions of like therapy consultation and it just like I don't know, it just wasn't. I could tell that I'm not ready, and
Mm.
I just
Mm.
stopped.
Mm.
So, so
Damn.
this is for the page that I saw for free, and yeah, so I just had 2 consultations, and after that, I'm like, no, I think I just want to stop, you know. And then with the other contact that I'd received from my mom, I didn't like I literally didn't call at all or like message them. I just so I
Mm.
would like look at the number and I'm like, no, do I really need help? But so that's like I'm saying, it takes a lot for you to accept that you actually need help. And when you've accepted it, to actually take the necessary steps for you to get better. Do you want to get better? Are you ready? Are you in that space? So I
You,
just, I don't know. I
okay.
wasn't ready
So
to
so
move
so for
on, I
you,
guess.
so for you, it was one of those things where the resources were there, but mentally and internally, you're just not gotten to that
Yes.
place, which means
Hmm.
the resources would not be
Yes,
useful because you had not accepted what's at hand.
definitely. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I think
That
when
is how to respond.
when it comes to this mental health stuff, as you've noted, sometimes you may not be ready. You know, the first step, from what I'm hearing, from what you're saying,
Mm-hmm.
is the acceptance. Actually accepting that I have this issue and I need help and I'm ready to get the
Mm-hmm.
help.
Yes.
Okay, so let's
Yes.
let's let's talk after that. Have you sort of gotten help in other ways? Or you're still on that path where you're just like, you're skeptical?
Okay, so I think I have gotten help in other ways, but
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
um okay, so I just genuinely realized that it doesn't have to be therapy as such for you to get help. I guess it also because I guess it just all depends with yourself, with what you're feeling and what you're comfortable with. But I also just decided it doesn't mean that I should not like take the necessary steps, the small things for me to get to where I want to be, or for, well, a better result, a better outcome, I guess. So definitely creating my mental health page was one of the things that has
Oh.
helped me or has been helping me through my through my journey, I guess. And yes, I am now sort of like considering now actually genuinely talking to someone because I feel like now I am in a better space to actually talk. Um, so the page, like I said, is the main. How do I describe it? I don't know how to describe it,
It's like
but
your
it has a
therapy.
huge role to actually play with.
Uh,
Yes, exactly. Yes, because
uh,
I also get to talk. Like it's interaction. If you've noticed, interacting and
mm,
hearing other people, and also it just shows that I'm not alone. Because if you remember, like I said from the beginning, at first I felt alone in the moment where I was like, this is rock bottom. I'm not okay. I felt
mm,
alone. So it's not only, obviously I don't want to sound selfish. No, it's not only for me, but it's also for other people because I know I'm not the only one now who feels the way that I feel and goes through things that I go through, all those things. So my pages definitely helped me to be more comfortable now to actually speak about my problems.
mm.
So I haven't started talking to someone yet, but I am getting there. Yes.
And that's the whole point of going on the journey, you know. It's not about rushing it. It's about the steps you take to get to the destination, you know? So
Yes. Yes,
I like that.
definitely.
I like that. Um it sounds like, from what you're saying, that page is part of course, the process, but it's also a way of letting out whilst you're taking in from someone else who's going through the same thing. Correct
No,
me if I'm wrong.
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
That's beautiful. That's
No,
beautiful.
that's definitely it.
That's beautiful. It's a beautiful
That's
thing.
definitely it.
I saw on
Thank you so much.
I saw on what you call it, your page, and you're having these interactions with other
Yes.
people, and I could tell, like, for you, uh, listening to someone going through what they're going through, you're like, man, I can feel you. I relate. I relate. Sure, you know. And that's it's good to have. I think that's another form of therapy, so to speak, to talk,
Yes,
to talk, to
definitely.
talk, and
To talk, yeah.
that's what it sounds like. Um, how do you think though that with someone else who's going through what you mentally, because obviously a lot of people go through mental health issues, what's the number
Yes,
one thing you'd
yes.
encourage them to do if you were to think of any, or the yeah, those steps?
if they were going through something, okay, like a mental health issue, the number one thing I would encourage them, or at least advice for them to really try, is for me, it would actually just have someone to talk to.
Mm.
Like, just find someone who's really close to you, I guess,
Mm. Mm.
or someone you're comfortable with
Mm.
to I'm saying that with a bit of doubt, because also I feel like when you're in a mental health situation, but also it depends with how you're feeling in that moment. But you don't want to to feel like you're a burden to someone, because also I guess
Mm.
that's why I never used to speak, because I always felt like I'm constantly telling people I'm going through something and I'm
Mm.
constantly a burden to someone. But
Mm.
talking, like we spoke about throughout the conversation, talking genuinely helps, which is why I feel like the safest thing when you're going through something is to at least just have one person you can confide in, and it helps. It really, really, really does help. So if you're going through something, whoever who's listening to this, if you're going through something, find someone you can talk to, or find a safe space that makes you feel like you're not alone. Um,
Mm.
for me, when I was going through something, when I just saw the Instagram page that had free therapy, I was like, okay, I'm not alone. That gave me some form of comfort. So obviously, I started following their page. I started following mental health pages, listening to YouTube videos, all those things, and that helped me a lot.
Wow.
So just find something, because people are different. So maybe obviously for me it's talking, maybe for someone else talking is not their thing, maybe watching videos on YouTube is their thing, maybe listening to podcasts like this, of course, is their thing.
Diff,
We
diff,
all have
diff.
our thing.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our own thing. So also obviously that comes with like learning yourself and knowing yourself. So for me, obviously, like I said, it would be finding someone to confide in.
Okay. So for you,
Yes.
try and find someone to talk to. If not, watch a podcast like mine. Just go listen to mine.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Anyway, because our time is
Definitely.
running out, thank you so much for sharing your experience. And of course, you're still going through your journey. So,
Yes.
um, it would be lovely that after some time, even after a couple months or whatever, we like revisit and we talk, and you're like, how's
Yes,
everything going?
definitely.
You know, because
That would be
personally,
nice.
on my own front, I think having it's sort of like it's like when people go to the gym or something, like an accountability partner. So checking up with you,
Yes,
how's the
yes.
mental health journey going? You see,
Yes.
but it's such a beautiful thing, and I'm glad that you're on the right track. Just before we go, what's the name of your page for those that want to, go and follow and then, see you when you have other conversations and the likes?
Okay, guys. So yes, my page is inspired underscore treasure. That's where I do my mental health series conversations. And the next conversation is actually next week, Friday. So please do tune in if you can. And I'll
Mm.
definitely share with you as well the information. And yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Next week, Friday, by the way, for people listening, is basically this week, Friday, because this is Monday when this drops. But anyway, that doesn't matter. Check on next
Okay.
week, Friday. It's after Africa Day. I think it's on the 27th of May, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah. Um, any last 10-second words?
Oh, oh, just 10 seconds.
Yes.
Uh, You get through it, guys. Whatever you're going through in life, just know that you're not alone. You get through it. We've got each other, basically. Yes, we've got each other. And thank you so much for having me on this podcast. It really was an honor, honestly. It feels like progress for me. It definitely is progress. I couldn't wait for
Yeah.
this.
She said
Yes,
at the beginning, before we even started recording, she's like, "Yo, I'm nervous." I'm like, "Don't worry. Don't worry. You're the advocate
no,
here. I'm the nervous one."
because definitely sometimes I feel like I'm not reaching out to as many people. I guess I really want to have an impact on as many people. So this is definitely uh, a lot for me. It definitely means a lot to have this opportunity to have this conversation with you here. So
Oh,
thank you very much.
oh, thank you. Thank you so much for coming through and
And I
putting
would
yourself
definitely
out there.
love to be back again.
Oh, of
Definitely
course.
have like a
I
what
are.
a catch up episode
Yeah.
2. I don't know what you'd call it.
You're coming back. That was already predetermined. We were not going to ask. Anyway, as you already know, to everyone listening, this is a psychology podcast. Your boy Psycho. Please get your mental health in check. Talk to someone. Watch YouTube videos. Listen to my podcast, especially, and go and talk to whoever you gotta talk to. As for me, it's been a good chat. Thank you so much, Anisi, for coming through. Yeah, live life and don't do drugs. Peace.